Cameron Poole played with fire, but he left Whit Bowman to get burned. Now, what does the prosecution come up here and told you? Told you that it was Whit Bowman's escape. It was Whit Bowman's robbery. And the only thing that Whit Bowman did not plan was to get caught. However, how come Whit Bowman was the one who planned this if it was Cameron Poole who robbed the ticket booth? It was Cameron Poole who was giving out the fake wristbands. It was Cameron Poole who escaped out of the Tunnel of Terror. It was Cameron Poole who robbed the park. So why is Whit Bowman here? Because Whit Bowman has been incriminated without a thorough investigation. You see, J.C. Longstreet met with Cameron Poole. J.C. Longstreet met with Haley Floyd and hinted at this behind-the-scenes action that hints at this possible conspiracy by J.C. Longstreet, the owner of Rock the World, and Haley Floyd, the accountant. You've heard witnesses today that show that J.C. Longstreet could have intentionally been setting up this wristband scheme and faking the accounts. That is reasonable doubt. Since if Cameron Poole, J.C. Longstreet, and Haley Floyd committed this robbery by setting up this scheme, Whit Bowman is innocent. Now, talking about reasonable doubt, what is reasonable doubt? Reasonable doubt is the highest burden in the United States justice system. The prosecution must prove to you beyond this reasonable doubt that at in any point in your mind you believe that there is a what if, or a doubt based on logic, common sense, and reason, then that means you must find the defendant not guilty. In that case, Whit Bowman is not guilty. Now, we have brought forth 3 witnesses to show you this reasonable doubt, since the prosecution must prove to you beyond this. We don't have to prove a thing. However, these 3 witnesses, and not only our 3 witnesses, but the prosecution's own witnesses, have provided you with this doubt. That will give reason to believe that another possibility is in fact possible. Now, the prosecution has brought forth 3 witnesses. Their first was Billy Isaacs. And in Billy Isaacs' cross-examination, stated that, yeah, mistakes are possible. And Ms. Bowman came up here and said that it was an accident. Now, there's a possibility that Ms. Bowman may not have intentionally provided this escape. Now, another thing the prosecution must have had to prove is the intent that Ms. Bowman intended to let Cameron Poole out the back entrance, that she intended to commit this robbery. Now, Billy Isaacs shows you that there wasn't that intent. Since there's that possibility and that doubt that she intended to hit blackout mode. Now, what did Billy Isaacs also produce? She provided that meeting at the bar. Now, the meeting at the bar was between J.C. Longstreet, Haley Floyd, and someone who resembled Cameron Poole. Now, those 3 also came up and told you, and Rory Shelton came up and told you, that Cameron Poole was meeting with J.C. Longstreet and had suspicious contact with Mr. Longstreet. Now, this is reasonable doubt. Rory Shelton provided the idea that Cameron Poole was conspiring with Longstreet. Then Billy Isaacs came up and told you that, yeah, the 3 of them met at a bar with a duffel bag that Cameron Poole used to rob Rock the World. That, members of the jury, is reasonable doubt. Now next they came up and told you, and Haley Floyd came before you. And Haley Floyd told you that she was stuck up by a multi-tool knife. However, Whit Bowman came up and told you that she owned a pocket knife. There is a distinct difference between these 2 weapons, a multi-tool and a pocket knife. That, members of the jury, is reasonable doubt. That there's a possibility that that knife is not the one that Whit Bowman used to own. Because Whit Bowman lost her pocket knife. But Cameron Poole all of a sudden had a multi-tool that he used to rob the park. Now, the prosecution brought forth this 3rd witness, Tyler Hartman. Tyler Hartman told you that she saw Whit Bowman through the crevice inside of the stall. And that Whit Bowman handed Cameron Poole, or that Whit Bowman put a knife inside Cameron Poole's employee locker. Not only was she not sure that this was Cameron Poole's locker in the first place, but there's a contradiction that, well, Ms. Bowman said she lost that knife. If Ms. Bowman lost this knife, how could Tyler Hartman have seen Ms. Bowman give the knife to Cameron Poole? That, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is a reasonable doubt. Not only this, but Ms. Hartman came forth in cross-examination and told you that she has a special relationship with Mr. Longstreet. Now, she's here to testify against Whit Bowman in favor of Rock to Roll, which is owned by J.C. Longstreet. That hints at this behind-the-scenes action that Mr. Longstreet was conspiring with other employees to either fake the accounts and provide a reason not to have to pay taxes in his part. That, members of the jury, is also reasonable doubt. Now, not only have the prosecution's witnesses provided this doubt, but our witnesses have supported that. Jackie Hunter supports the idea of faking the accounts for J.C. Longstreet. Jackie Hunter came before the court and told you that, yeah, she saw 2 accounting books with the same exact date on them in the office of J.C. Longstreet and Haley Floyd. This is reasonable doubt. This hints at this behind-the-scenes action of J.C. Longstreet, Haley Floyd, to try to fake these accounts. Now that is reasonable doubt, members of the jury. Not only this, like I said, Rory Shelton came before you and told you that she saw Mr. Poole and Mr. Longstreet having suspicious connections. She came before and testified that, yeah, Cameron Poole was in the ticket booth past J.C. Longstreet, and they had a weird connection. They made eye contact, suspicious eye contact. And these suspicious meetings that she had, or that Cameron Poole had with Mr. Longstreet, that supports the idea that, yeah, Cameron Poole met with them weeks after the robbery in Chuggy's bar. Now that, members of the jury, is reasonable doubt. Not only this, but then we brought forth Ms. Bowman herself. Ms. Bowman told you that she was scared of Poole. She used to be friends with Poole. But Cameron Poole shoved these wristbands at her. Cameron Poole forced her to look like she was involved. Members of the jury, Cameron Poole is not on trial today. It is Ms. Bowman. And Ms. Bowman was not involved in this. Ms. Bowman did not rob the ticket booth. She did not run through the park with a duffel bag full of money. Ms. Bowman was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time and made an accident. That, members of the jury, is reasonable doubt. Now, like I said, if there is any point in your mind that you feel as though there is any doubt based on logic and reason that Ms. Bowman is guilty of these crimes, you must find her not guilty. And reasonable doubt is poked throughout the prosecution's entire case. Reasonable doubt is essential, and that proves Ms. Bowman is innocent of all the crimes that she has been charged with.